Good evening, everyone. My name is Anchal, and today I'll be discussing this session on nitrogen cycle. We have already discussed the Unit 1 chapter, that is crop production and crop management. Okay, and we are continuing the module. This is our last topic, which is the nitrogen cycle. Okay, so yeah. Okay, students, do confirm me. Is the screen visible to you?
Yes, ma'am, the screen is
Yes,
visible.
ma'am.
Okay, fine. So, nitrogen cycle. So, what is nitrogen cycle? The very first question is that what is nitrogen cycle? We have in our nature, in the environment, there is a process of using any element and then regenerating it throughout, and that this process works in a cyclic form. Okay, so nitrogen cycle is not only the cycle present in the environment, other cycles as well as urea cycle, okay, carbon cycle is there, and the most common, you might have heard water cycle. Okay, so these are the processes that exist in the environment so that we can get the amount of important elements, and if the amount is getting reduced, then they can be regenerated easily. Okay, so one of the example is nitrogen cycle. Now this nitrogen cycle is a biogeochemical process. Why it is biogeochemical process? Because it involves the role of microbes. Geo means it involves the role of soil. Okay, earth is there, and chemical. Although the nitrogen is a chemical element, that's why the process is biogeochemical process. Okay, what is nitrogen cycle now? It is a biogeochemical process which transforms the inert nitrogen present in the atmosphere to a more usable form of living organisms. Now think of you guys have studied this compositions of air. Air is composed of carbon dioxide. It has nitrogen N2, right? It has oxygen as well. Argon is there. Now the N2, nitrogen, which is present in the air, is not usable for living organism. Although it is present, but we can't use it for our own welfares, right? So what nitrogen cycle do? It converts that nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere to a more usable form for living organism, be it humans, be it animals, or microorganisms. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I repeat that nitrogen cycle is a process which transforms the inert nitrogen that is present in the atmosphere to a more usable form for living organisms. Now, this process has several stages, okay, and each stage has its own name. The first stage is the nitrogen fixation, nitrification. We have denitrification, okay, decay and putrefaction is there. So this is the nitrogen cycle. Now see, we have N2, nitrogen, which is present in the atmosphere. Once it got fixed by nitrogen fixing bacteria, then it is then absorbed by the soil. Okay, the soil may also has water. Okay, H2O, water is there, and the N2, which is coming from the atmosphere, they got combined and then they form NH3. Okay, other possible chance could be it can either form ammonia, NH4. Okay, once, and these processes are occurring in the soil with the help of water. Now we have this ammonia and we have this NH3 amide. So what happens then? The ammonia or NH3 which is present, the nitrifying bacteria then consumes this ammonia and further forms NO2, nitrites and nitrates. This is nitrogen fixation. Okay, so nitrites and nitrates is uh, just synthesized when the nitrates and nitrites are formed. One is nitrate, Nitrate, one is nitrite, okay, Nitrite, nitrite and nitrates. Okay, so when once the nitrites and nitrates are formed, so what happens then? The bacteria, same, the nitrifying bacteria, then either can consume this nitrites and nitrates to do the process of assimilation, or they can do the process of denitrification. Okay, after denitrification, what happens? Against the inert, N2 is released in the atmosphere. So this is a cyclic process. Fine. So what happens? The nitrogen fixation is there. In second stage, we have nitrification. In the third stage, we have assimilation. In the fourth, we have ammonification, and then denitrification. Okay. So what is nitrogen fixation? So this is the very first step. Fine, just listen for now. Okay, this is the very first step. So what happens in nitrogen fixation? The atmospheric nitrogen, which is primarily available in an inert form, it is converted into usable form of ammonia.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, what's the meaning of inert?
What is the meaning of?
Ma'am, inert.
Inert. Inert means something which is stable. Stable, which cannot be reacted with any other component.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, when a compound is stable, it means it cannot it can't react with any other of the compound. Okay, that's the meaning of inert, stability. So the ammonia is not unstable because it has lone pairs. This NH4, NH3, they got lone pairs. Free electrons are present over these compounds, the NH4 and NH3. So these free electrons then can react with other compounds as well. If the nitrogen has free electrons, so here it is reacting with the hydrogen, but afterwards it can get converted into nitrite and nitrate by reacting with the oxygen. So the nitrogen present in the ammonia, okay, is not inert, it is reactive. N2 here is inert, it is stable, it has no free electrons, so it cannot be reacted. Once it can't react, so it means it is of no use for us, because our body is made of oxygen, we have carbon as well, and hydrogen. Okay, nitrogen is also there, but the nitrogen is not in inert form. Okay, and the inert form of nitrogen can't be usable. So nitrogen fixation is the first step to convert this stable nitrogen into reacting form of nitrogen, or you can say ammonia. Okay, and then nitrites and nitrates. This is what you call is nitrogen fixation. Okay, the inert form of nitrogen gas, okay, it gets dissolved, or you can say it gets deposited, or you can say precipitation process. Now the soil has various bacteria, right? The rhizobium bacteria, you might have heard. Azatobacter is again a type of a bacteria of the same class.
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
so these bacteria, what they do, they convert the nitrogen which the soil has absorbed from the atmosphere. Okay, they convert that nitrogen into a special type of enzyme called nitrogenase enzyme. Okay, now this nitrogenase, what it do, it combines the nitrogen coming from the atmosphere and the hydrogen present in the water. Okay, so it just combines two compounds, two elements, the nitrogen. Where this process is occurring? This process is occurring in the bacteria. Okay, and then it releases ammonia. Is it clear, Tom?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is biological type.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Biological type. Simple. Yes, Sri Lakshmi.
Ma'am, can you please repeat, ma'am, because
Yes, ma'am,
your voice was not clear, ma'am.
Okay, it wasn't clear. Oh, fine. So I was discussing about a nitrogen fixation step. Okay, that was the very first step. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So we have different stages in nitrogen cycle. Now, first you need to understand what is nitrogen cycle. It is a biogeochemical process in which the atmospheric nitrogen is converted into more can use nitrogen for their own welfare or for their own use. Fine. It has various stages. I have already discussed over here. It has various stages. The first one is the nitrogen fixation. then it is nitrification, then assimilation is there, ammonification is there, and denitrification is there. Although the nitrogen fixation and this ammonification processes are same, but the end products are different. That's why the name is different. Okay, so don't get confused if I discuss this ammonification later on. Fine. So yeah, in nitrogen fixation, what happens that the atmospheric nitrogen, which is completely available in the inert form, the stable form. Okay, this one, this N2. This is the stable. It can't get react with any of the compound. Now in nitrogen fixation, what happens? This stable and primarily available nitrogen in the atmosphere got absorbed into the soil. Okay. In soil, we have water. Okay. We have carbon, right? And water includes this hydrogen element and oxygen element. Is it clear now? Also, the soil also has this nitrogen fixing bacteria. For example, rhizobium is there, Azatobacter is there. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
These
Yes,
bacteria
ma'am.
have special type of enzyme called nitrogenase enzyme. Now, what this nitrogenase enzyme do? When the N2 gets absorbed into the soil, the nitrogenase enzyme in the bacteria then combine this nitrogen with the water, with the hydrogen element. Okay, and then it forms this usable form NH3. Okay, after
Yes,
the
ma'am.
NH3 is formed, then nitrites and nitrates are then synthesized. Is it clear? So this was the nitrogen fixation step. Okay, which was done by various bacteria and with the help of enzyme called nitrogenase. And here what happens, there is the combination reaction, okay, between the nitrogen and the hydrogen to form ammonia. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so there are
Yes,
different
ma'am.
types of nitrogen fixation. So this was one of the example of biological nitrogen fixation. Why? Because living beings are getting involved for nitrogen fixation step. Okay, we are fixing the nitrogen. We are making the stable form of nitrogen into more usable form. This is nitrogen fixation. So the example that I have discussed now was the example of biological type of nitrogen fixation. Okay, apart from biological, we have atmospheric fixation as well, and we have industrial nitrogen fixation as well. So coming to the atmospheric fixation, what is atmospheric fixation? When the natural phenomena like lightning is there, okay, thunder, lightning,
Yes, ma'am.
thunderstorms, so that energy which comes from the lightning, it breaks the atmospheric nitrogen into nitrogen oxides, NO2, NO3, because the thunder, lightning also forms from the water. Okay, and it provides oxygen to the atmospheric nitrogen, and nitrogen and the oxygen, then it forms NO2 and NO3. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can you again explain this again?
Sorry, of atmospheric fixation.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Okay, so
ma'am, don't mind, ma'am. Ma'am, don't mind, ma'am, in Hindi also.
okay. No, why would I mind if you don't get it? Just it's okay. I can repeat in any language. Fine. So yeah, atmospheric fixation क्या होती है? Generally एक natural phenomena. एटमोस्फेयर में ही होगा, इसमें किसी सॉइल की जरूरत नहीं है, किसी बैक्टीरिया की जरूरत नहीं है. ठीक है, सिंपल क्या होता है, आपके एटमोस्फेयर में नाइट्रोजन प्रेजेंट है, ठीक है, इनर्ट फॉर्म में है, कौन सी है, N2 फॉर्म. क्लियर हो गया. अब जब भी बारिश होती है, बिजली वगैरह चमकती है, वो बिजली से जो है एनर्जी रिलीज होती है. ठीक है, बारिश में क्या होता है, पानी होता है, बिजली कहाँ से निकलती है, जब पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव क्लाउड्स आपस में टकराते हैं. और बादल किसके बने हैं, भाप के बने हैं बादल. भाप में क्या प्रेजेंट होता है, क्या प्रेजेंट होता है, वाटर प्रेजेंट होता है, हाइड्रोजन H2O प्रेजेंट होगी, है ना. और आपके पास N2 प्रेजेंट है एटमोस्फेयर में, तो जब बिजली चमकती है तो उसमें से एनर्जी रिलीज होती है, तभी आपको आवाज सुनती है, आपको एक लाइट नजर आती है ना. अब
Yes, ma'am.
जो भाप से वो बादल बना, उसमें हाइड्रोजन और ऑक्सीजन है, दो एलिमेंट्स प्रेजेंट है. तो उस वक्त क्या होता है कि जो नाइट्रोजन है वो ऑक्सीजन के साथ कंबाइन करेगा और नाइट्रोजन के ऑक्साइड्स बन जाएंगे. क्लियर हो गया. NO2 एंड NO3, और यही NO2 और NO3 जो है प्लांट्स उसको यूज कर लेते हैं, उसके रूट्स में जो है वो चले जाते हैं। फर्दर द राइजोबियम बैक्टीरिया जो है उसको यूज कर लेंगे और उसकी फर्टिलिटी इंक्रीज हो जाती है, बढ़ जाती है उसकी। ठीक है, ठीक है, अब समझ आ गया। सो atmospheric fixation is the natural phenomena where the energy which comes from the lightning of the clouds, because when the positive and negative clouds just strike off, there is the formation of a lightning. The energy released due to the lightning, okay, that energy has hydrogen and water. Why? Because the clouds are formed from hydrogen and oxygen, okay, and the atmospheric nitrogen which is present, it combines with the oxygen molecule, which further forms the oxides of nitrogen, be it NO2 or NO3. Okay, once it is formed in the atmosphere, they then can released by rain. Okay, with the help of rain, the rain, what is rain? This is something which is water. Okay, now that water has nitrogen oxides. Okay, that rainwater is then absorbed by the roots. Now the nitrogen oxides indirectly are used by the plants, which further increases the fertility of the soil, okay, and makes the plant more productive. Is it clear, everyone? So this was the atmospheric fixation. Second type is industrial nitrogen fixation. So industrial nitrogen fixation is completely synthetic and it is a man-made. Okay, whenever we want to make fertilizers, for example, urea fertilizers. Okay, so what does urea fertilizers has? It has a carbon in the center and it has ammonia at both ends. So ammonia, here will be the carbon and here again will be the ammonia. Now whenever there is the formation of, Jay, what are you doing?
Nothing, ma'am.
You just shared a jam file.
No, ma'am. I can
Maybe.
see your presentation only.
Okay, okay, fine. It's okay. I think you did it by mistake. It's okay. Fine. Yes. So yeah, the industrial nitrogen fixation, it is completely synthetic, right? So whenever you want to make urea fertilizers, okay, now urea has two ammonia at both ends and in the center it has carbon. Fine. So this industrial nitrogen fixation is done by the help of various chemicals or various, you can say, processes. Okay, so the man-made alternative that aids in the nitrogen fixation by use of ammonia, and that ammonia is produced by the direct combination of nitrogen and fixation, which then further forms which then further gets converted to the urea. This is industrial nitrogen fixation. In a simple language, industrial nitrogen fixation is a type of nitrogen fixation which is done in the industries. Okay, it is completely synthetic and it is used to form fertilizers, for example urea fertilizers. Clear now? And the last one is the biological nitrogen fixation that I have already discussed. So okay, Bala, yes, Bala, can you please tell me what is biological nitrogen fixation?
Ma'am, it is the nitrogen fixation that is actually generated by the biotic things like rhizobium bacteria that converts compounds into the usable to plants.
Okay, very good. So yes, so we have discussed types of nitrogen fixation till now. 3 types of nitrogen fixations are there. Okay, so one is the atmospheric, second one is industrial, and third one is biological nitrogen fixation. Is it clear to everyone? Jay, Vivek, Shri Lakshmi,
Yes, ma'am.
Akshay, Vaseem,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Bala. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
good. So shall we move ahead to the next stage?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So next
Ma'am.
stage is second stage, that is nitrification. Okay, nitrification, formation of nitrites and nitrates. So every stage has its name, which is somehow related to the product. So try to remember the products. Okay, try to relate the name of the stages by relating it with the formation of the products, and in this way you can learn easily. Okay, or you can just memorize all the stages easily. Nitrification, formation of nitrites and nitrates. Okay, nitrification. Fine. So in this process, the ammonia, okay, coming to the cycle again, this ammonia, okay, it is getting converted into NO2 and NO3, which is nitrification. This process is called as nitrification. Now, how nitrification occurs, we will see out here. And this, what it says, that in this process, the ammonia is converted into nitrate by the presence of bacteria in the soil. The bacteria are Nitrobacters, Nitrosomonas bacteria, Rhizobium bacteria are also there. Okay, nitrites are formed by the oxidation of ammonia with the help of Nitrosomonas. Nitrite NO2, nitrate NO3. Okay, nitrite NO2 and nitrate is NO3. Okay, so what it says, that the nitrites are formed by the oxidation of ammonia with the help of Nitrosomonas bacteria. The Nitrosomonas bacteria is there, which will oxidize the ammonia. Okay, the ammonia was formed by the nitrogen fixation. So what does now Nitrosomonas bacteria will do? It will oxidize that ammonia and further it will form nitrite. Okay. Later the nitrites are converted into nitrates by Nitrobacter. Okay. So the NO2 nitrite, it is then converted into nitrate. So just assume that nitrite NO2 is less power nitrogen, NO3 is more power nitrogen. So that is nitrate. Nitrite, which was formed by the oxidation of ammonia, okay, and it gets converted to nitrate. Now, which bacteria is converting that nitrite into nitrate? That is Nitrobacter. Is it clear?
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
two species,
ma'am.
two bacterial species are there. One is Nitrosomonas, another one is Nitrobacter. What will Nitrosomonas do? It will convert the ammonia, okay, into nitrite. Fine. Once the nitrite NO2 is formed, that NO2 will get converted to NO3. And which bacteria will help it? The Nitrobacter. Is it clear? This conversion is really very important, as ammonia gas is toxic for plants. The ammonia NH4 is really toxic for plants. That's why the formation of nitrite and nitrate is compulsory. Now you get to know why in the nitrogen cycle we have NO2 and NO3, because the formation of this NH4 from the nitrogen fixation of N2, this is toxic for the plants. That's why the Nitrosomonas bacteria converts NH4 into NO2. Okay, and then the Nitrobacter converts this NO2, convert this NO2 to NO3. I hope I made you clear. Any confusion?
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, ma'am, what is NH3 and NH4?
This is ammonia. This ammonia has different parts. Okay, NH4 is the ammonia, amine. NH3 is amine.
Yes, ma'am.
AMINE, amine. NH4 is ammonia. Just like here, we have NO2 nitrite, NO3 nitrate. Is it clear, everyone, how the NO2 and NO3 is formed and why it is important for over here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you repeat
Can
it?
you repeat it, ma'am?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am,
so you
can you
want me
repeat?
to repeat it. Okay, fine. So the process goes on like this. we have atmospheric nitrogen. Okay, nitrogen fixation happens in the soil. Nitrogen fixing bacteria, rhizobium bacteria, what it has a nitrogenase enzyme. It will combine this NO2 with the hydrogen and it will form amine or ammonia. Is it clear? Further on,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
further on, once the ammonia is formed, now this ammonia or amine, both are toxic for the plants, right? Both are toxic for the plants. So what does the bacteria in the soil will do? It will readily convert this ammonia and amine into nitrite and nitrate. Now how it will happen? The Nitrosomonas bacteria will convert this NH4 into nitrite by the oxidation of ammonia. Simple. जो अमोनिया है उसका ऑक्सीडेशन होगा, कौन करेगा? नाइट्रोसोमोनास बैक्टीरिया, और वो फर्दर क्या बनाएगा? नाइट्राइट. The Nitrosomonas bacteria will do the oxidation of this ammonia and it will form nitrite. Now the second type of bacteria called as Nitrobacter bacteria, what it will do? It will convert this nitrite into nitrate. And this whole process is called nitrification process. Okay, conversion of ammonia into nitrite and nitrate is nitrification process.
Ma'am, what's the bacteria name, ma'am?
Sorry?
In the process of nitrification, there's a bacteria, right, ma'am? What's the name of the bacteria?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the Nitrosomonas, which converts, which is used in the formation of nitrite. Nitrosomonas, Nitrosomonas. 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 That bacteria will convert ammonia into nitrite. Once the nitrite is formed, then the another bacteria called Nitrobacter, Nitrobacter, Nitrobacter. Okay, that Nitrobacter will then form nitrite into nitrate, NO3. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
If there is any confusion, you can ask me now. No confusions? Okay. So the reaction which is involved in the process of second stage, okay, that is 2 molecules of NH3, 2 molecules of amine, when it reacts with the oxygen, because oxidation is occurring over here, okay, oxidation process is occurring, fine. So 3 molecules of oxygen will be involved, and what it will form? It will form 2NO2. Okay, 2NO2 plus 2 hydrogen plus 2 molecules of water. So 2 molecules of amine will form 2 molecules of nitrite plus 2 molecules of hydrogen plus 2 molecules of water. Then so this reaction was done by Nitrosomonas bacteria, these bacteria. Okay, the first reaction is done by Nitrosomonas bacteria. Now once we get the nitrite, now it's the time to get nitrates. So the second bacteria, this one, Nitrobacter, what it will do, it will convert this nitrite into nitrate, again by the process of oxidation. So 2 molecules of nitrate, which when combined with the 1 molecule of oxygen, further they will form. After balancing the equation, we will get 2 molecules of nitrates. Okay. So this is nitrification. Is it clear, everyone? Okay. बहुत सिंपल है. यहाँ पर आपके पास जो अमाइन बने थे, ठीक है, नाइट्रोजन फिक्सेशन के बाद उसकी ऑक्सीडेशन हुई है, 3 मॉलिक्यूल्स ऑक्सीजन के ऐड हो गए, ठीक है, और उसके बाद जब ये रिएक्शन हुई तो आपके पास प्रोडक्ट में क्या बना? 2 मॉलिक्यूल्स बन गए आपके पास नाइट्राइट के, 2 मॉलिक्यूल्स आपके पास हाइड्रोजन के, और साथ में 2 मॉलिक्यूल्स बनेंगे आपके पास वाटर के. तो ये जो रिएक्शन है, फर्स्ट रिएक्शन, ये किसने करी है? नाइट्रोसोमोनास बैक्टीरिया. क्लियर? अब हमारे पास क्या आ गए हैं? नाइट्राइट्स आ गए हैं, ठीक है. इसी नाइट्राइट को फर्दर इनकी क्या होगी, ऑक्सीडेशन होगी दोबारा से, और क्या बनाएंगे, ये नाइट्रेट बनाएंगे। कौन करेगा ये रिएक्शन को, कौन प्रोसीड करेगा, नाइट्रोबैक्टर। ओके विवेक,
Yes,
क्लियर?
ma'am. Yes,
Fine.
ma'am. Clear.
Rest of the students, Bala, Wasim, Akshaya, Sri Lakshmi, Vivek, Jay,
Yes,
any
ma'am. Clear.
confusions?
No, ma'am.
I'm clear.
Yes, ma'am. Clear,
Fine.
ma'am.
Is there any doubt in the reactions? How is it happening, or what bacteria are doing with that? No? Fine. Coming to the next stage, which is assimilation. Now, assimilation is something when the plants, it is done by the primary producers. Mainly the plants are involved in it. Okay. So whatever the nitrites and nitrates are formed, right, the plants then take those nitrogen compounds with the help of their roots. Okay. So which are available in the form of ammonia, the nitrite ion, nitrate ion, okay, or ammonium ions, fine, and are used in the formation of plant and animal proteins. Assimilation is something, a process, just a simple process where the nitrite and the nitrate which are formed is then taken up by the plants with the help of their roots. This is simple, as simple as it is. Okay, nothing complex. Assimilation is a process where the plants take up these nitrogen compounds from the soil with the help of their roots, and these nitrogen compounds are present in the form of the nitrite ions, nitrate ions, okay, ammonium ions and ammonia. Just have a look over it. Now we have done these stages, right? NO2 is formed, NO3 is formed. We also have ammonia in the soil, and we have this ammonium ion in the soil as well. Okay, so these are the roots of the plant, and these four are the nitrogen compounds. So whatever the nitrogen compound will be available to the plant at that time, the plant will take up that nitrogen compound, be it nitrate, be it nitrite, be it ammonium, okay, or be it ammonia. Fine. So the roots will take up these nitrogen compound, and this process is called as assimilation process. Simple. Clear? Everyone, is it clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Assimilation is
No, ma'am.
assimilation एक बहुत सिंपल सा स्टेप है जहां पर आपके पास नाइट्रोजन कंपाउंड्स जो भी बनते हैं, चाहे वो नाइट्राइट हो चाहे वो नाइट्रेट हो, ठीक है, आपके प्लांट के जो रूट्स हैं वो उसको कंज्यूम कर लेंगे, सिंपल, उसको एब्जॉर्ब कर लेंगे. That process of absorption of nitrite or nitrate or any of the nitrogen compound by the plants with the help of root, that process is called assimilation. Just a simple process of absorbing the nitrogen compounds from the soil. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So, yeah. Next, last stage is denitrification. Denitrification is when the nitrates, which are formed NO3, it is denitrified by some bacteria. The example includes the Pseudomonas. 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 So Pseudomonas bacteria then degrade this nitrate into nitrogen and oxygen again. So oxygen stays over here in the, some part of oxygen stays over here in the soil, and some part is released out. The rest of the nitrogen, which is N2, it then gets again back to the atmosphere. This process is called denitrification. Okay, the nitrates and the nitrites is then just cleaved down, degraded. Okay, the oxygen gets separated and the nitrogen gets separated. So some part of oxygen stays in the soil and some part gets released in the air. Rest of the nitrogen, which is again a N2 form, then get released in the atmosphere as a inert form, which is not usable, and this process is called as denitrification. Clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
So yes, this was the nitrogen cycle. Just give me a second. There is one video that will make your concepts more clear. Just give me a second. Let me share that video. Is it visible?
Nitrogen cycle.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it? Was that audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So just look at this video and try to understand each and every concept. Fine.
Nitrogen is the important essential element for all living organisms by the synthesis of amino acids, proteins, enzymes, etc. What happens if there is no nitrogen? Root systems and plant growth are stunted. All the leaves turn yellow. Decrease in crop production. Soil microorganisms, life become dangerous. In atmosphere, its concentration is 78%. The circulation or cyclic movement of nitrogen from the atmosphere, physical or abiotic component, to soil, biotic component, and back into the atmosphere is known as nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen cycle involves various steps. 1. Nitrogen fixation. 2. Nitrogen assimilation. 3. Ammonification. 4. Nitrification. 5. Denitrification. Plants cannot utilize atmospheric nitrogen, so it should be converted into utilizable form such as ammonia. 1. Nitrogen fixation. This is the first step of nitrogen fixation. Conversion of atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia for living organisms is known as nitrogen fixation. This process is carried out by leguminous plants such as groundnut. Even some bacteria can fix.
Okay. So he says the process is carried out by leguminous plants, for example, groundnut. Can you name some other leguminous plants?
Ma'am, beans, ma'am?
Beans, yes, very good.
Ma'am, P.
Yes, pea is again there. Good, very nice.
Atmospheric nitrogen. Examples of bacteria: Azatobacter, Clostridium, Rhizobium, Nostoc, and Anabina. 2. Nitrogen assimilation. The process of absorbing nitrates and ammonia into organic nitrogen is known as nitrogen assimilation. This organic nitrogen is transferred into animals' body when plants are eaten by animals. 3. Ammonification. The process of converting organic nitrogen into ammonia when animals die is known as ammonification. It is also known as mineralization.
So now you get it. What is ammonification? It is when our body dies. Not only animals, when a plant dies, or you guys have seen the fallen leaves, okay, that leaves also have some ammonia. Okay, some amount of ammonia is there. That ammonia, NH3, is then absorbed by the soil. Okay, the best example you have seen that if there is a leaf, or you can say a heap of fallen leaves, after few days it get the space then get cleared off. How it gets cleared off? Because the nitrogen is absorbed by the soil, okay, and various scavengers, fine, the bacteria, the microbes are there, which just decompose those animals and leaves, right? So that formation of nitrogen into ammonia is ammonification in the nitrogen cycle. Okay, various fungi are there, saprophytes are there. Okay, so yeah, various bacteria are also there which do this process.
Ma'am,
Yes. Scavengers. Scavengers are something which feed on other animals. Okay. Eagles are there, vultures are there, on dead decaying animals. Those are scavengers.
This process was carried out by some saprophytes like fungi and bacteria. Ammonia is also produced from volcanic eruptions and excretory products of animals. 4. Nitrification. The bacteria which is involved in nitrification is known as nitrifying bacteria. Ammonia is first converted to nitrites. Examples: Nitrosomonas, Nitrococcus. Nitrites are converted to nitrates. Examples: Nitrobacter. 5. Denitrification. Nitrates are converted into molecular nitrogen through nitric oxide, known as denitrification. In order to maintain the equilibrium of nitrogen in the atmosphere, bacteria which are involved in denitrification are known as denitrifying bacteria. Examples: Thiobacillus denitrificans, Pseudomonas denitrificans, and Micrococcus denitrificans. Problems with increase of nitrogen: acid rain formation, acidification of soil and lakes, increase in death of plants.
So yeah, this was about the nitrogen cycle. Hope this video made you clear about the rest of the concepts.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Any queries? Vivek, Bala, Sri Lakshmi, Wasim, Akshay, and Jay?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No. Fine. Okay. So now with this, we have completed our first unit, and yeah, we are going to have the quiz for the first unit. That will be the online quiz. Okay. So don't worry. Have you revised that first unit?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone? Yes, na? Ready ho? Sabke sir?
Yes, ma'am. Ready. है.
हाँ, ma'am.
Okay. Good. So online quiz ही होगा. Fine. So I won't be giving the answers. So you are solely responsible for your answers. चाहे वो गलत हो, चाहे वो सही हो. अगर गलत होगा, in the end, I will tell you where you were wrong. अगर सही है, तो फिर तो you will get a point. Okay. Okay. Is the screen visible, na? Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So I'm going to select your class. Subject. Crop production and crop management, right? Conservation plan. Yeah. Let's start the test. So one by one, I'll call your name, fine, and then you will have to give your answer. First question is for Vivek. Vivek, tell me, weeds can be removed by using pesticides, fungicides, weedicides, or bactericides?
Ma'am, we decide.
Weedicides. Okay. Next question is for Sri Lakshmi. Sri Lakshmi, am
Yes,
I
ma'am.
audible? Yes. Your question
Yes,
is
ma'am.
paddy, maize, soybean, and cotton are example of which crops? Kharif crops, rabi crops, weeds, or none of these?
Yes, ma'am.
Paddy, maize, soybean, and cotton. Paddy is rice. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Maize, soybean, and cotton are examples of which crops? Kharif crops, rabi crops, weeds, none of these. Remember, all of these crops require more water. I'm giving the
Yes,
hint
ma'am.
as well. Okay. So what type of crops are these? With their rabi or kharif crops?
Ma'am.
No, Bala. It's not.
Ma'am,
No,
kharif.
Akshay. Kharif crops. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Next question is for Bala. Okay. So, Bala, tell me, which of the following statements are true or false? A. Damaged seeds become hollow and are thus lighter. Therefore, they float on water. So, is it true or false?
Yes, ma'am, it's true.
Fine. Second statement they have given is farmers prefer to use seeds which give a high yield. Is it true or false?
High yield means?
High yield mean high production.
Yes, ma'am, they use that.
Okay, fine. So now they have said that among A and B, which of the statements are true
Both
or
are
false?
both of them
Both
are
are true. Okay.
Yeah.
So what will be your option?
C,
Only
ma'am.
A, only
Both
B?
A and B.
Both A and B. Fine. Good. Next question is for Wasim. Wasim? Okay, Wasim, your question is manures improve soil texture, improve water retaining capacity, add nutrients to the soil, or all of these? Wasim, what will be your answer? What are manures? Manures improve the soil
First
texture.
one, A.
So, A.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you sure? Are you sure it is A? Lock कर दे अगर
Yes,
गलत हो
ma'am.
गया फिर Wasim, I'm giving you a hint again. Okay. So what are manures? Manures improves the soil texture. It improves water retaining capacity. It adds nutrients to the soil. All of these. Actually, I will get back to you. Just wait for a second. Hold on.
Yes, ma'am.
Wasim, you have to answer it. Which option?
C.
Sure.
Yes.
देखो एक बार सबमिट हो गया तो आई एम नॉट गोना रीडू द ऑप्शंस पक्का ना सी चलो no more scaring. Fine. Next question is for Akshay. Akshay, before storing crops for longer time, grains should be sealed in a plastic packets, properly dried in the sun, washed and cleaned properly. All of these.
All of these, ma'am.
All of these. Fine. Okay. So Jay, have you studied this chapter?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And we have another username, Sanjay. Sanjay Kumar, the username.
Ma'am, can I tell the answer?
Yes, you can try. Do you know the
I
answer?
think so. It's B, animal husbandry.
Okay, great. You can give it a try. It's okay. In my class, there's no need to hesitate.
Yeah, ma'am, I'm audible.
Okay, Sanjay. Sanjay.
Yeah, ma'am, I'm from SUVY Quality Control Team, ma'am.
Sorry, you're from?
SUVY Quality Control Team.
Okay. Yes. Next question is for Vivek.
Yes, ma'am.
Sri Lakshmi and Bala will get back to you. Just wait for a second. Okay, so Vivek, tell me the first step before growing crops is harvesting, preparing soil, removing weeds, adding manures.
Ma'am, preparing soil.
Okay, very good. Let's see, will that be right or not? Next question is for Bala. Bala, tell me, before sowing the seed, it is necessary to break soil to the size of grains to get better yield or to get better production. The main tools used for such are tractor, hoe, seed drill. B option is bullock, tiller, tractor. C is plow, hoe, cultivator. And the last option is plow, seed drill, tractor.
Ma'am, I think it's plow, seed drill, and tractor. Or 1 minute.
before sowing the seeds, it is necessary to break soil to the size of grains to get better yield.
Yeah, ma'am. So that's, I think it's plow, seedle, and tractor. I'm not sure between the C and D option. Hoe also it is used, but the cultivator is only used after harvesting, for harvesting.
Okay, you can take your time. You can take your time. You wanna rethink about the question?
Okay, ma'am. I will say plow, seedle, and tractor.
Okay, so you wanna go with the option D.
No, ma'am.
Plow, seed drill, and tractor.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not sure about it. Between that two.
Between C and D, you're not sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we can. Okay, Sri Lakshmi is there who wants to answer. Sri Lakshmi?
Ma'am, option C.
Option C. Okay. Next. Akshya. This question is for Akshya. Akshya, am I audible? Yes. Akshya, which of the following irrigation practice is useful in the sandy soil? Drip irrigation, chain pump, pulley system, sprinkler system. Which of the following irrigation practice is useful in sandy soil? So sandy soil is a type of a soil where the water can't retain much. Okay, so what type of irrigation will be beneficial for sandy soil? The drip irrigation, chain pump, pulley system, or sprinkler? Okay, A option. Last question is for Wasim. Wasim, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Wasim. So tell me which of the following statements are true. Among A and B, if both are true, you can choose the option both A and B. Okay. The first statement is energy from food is utilized by organisms for carrying out their various body functions. Okay. So whatever the energy we get from food, that is utilized by the organism. It means that is utilized by us for carry out various body functions. Okay, is it true or false?
Ma'am, I think it's true.
Or you think it's true? Okay. Second statement is we get food from plants and animals. True or false?
True.
True. So among four options, which you will choose? Only A is true, only B is true, both A and B are true.
Both A and B.
Okay. Okay, fine. Akshay, yes. With which option you want to go for? Because this is the last question. Yes, Akshay.
A and B, ma'am.
Both A and B. Jay?
Ma'am, both A and B.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am. Both A and B, ma'am.
I don't know,
Every
ma'am.
you don't know. Okay, this is very general. This is general question. The first statement says, just listen, Jay. The first statement says that energy from food is utilized by organisms for carrying out their various body functions. Look, whatever you eat, you get energy from that. Okay, and that energy is used to carry out various body functions, be it breathing, respiration, okay, or various daily activities. So is it true or false?
True, ma'am.
Okay,
Both A and B.
now you get the question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine, everyone is saying both A and B. Oh, so this is the last question, and on your demand I'm choosing both A and B. So let's see how much you guys have scored. Oh, your score is 7 out of 10. Let's see which questions were wrong. So yeah, The question, first question was right, second question was right. Okay. Third question was again right. Fourth, manures. Basim, I have given number of hints to you that manures not only add nutrients to the soil, it improves the soil texture and it improves the water retaining capacity as well. And these three concepts or these three aspects further increases the fertility of the soil. So the answer should be all of these. Anyways, it's okay. Next, fifth question. Before storing crops for longer time, grains should be properly dried in the sun, because if they are washed, they will be wet. Okay. And the wet crops or wet grains catches microbial infections, or fungal infections are also there. So that's why after washing and cleaning, they should be properly dried in the sun. And if you seal these grains in plastic packets, they can also get what you say, there will be the formation of clumps in between the grains. That's why you should not store the grains in plastic packets if you want to store those grains for longer time. So properly dried in the sun is there. Okay. Next, sixth question was right. Seventh was again right. Yeah. Eighth question. Eighth question was right. So it chose C option. C was right. Okay. Fine. Ninth, which of the following irrigation practice is useful in the sandy soil? In sandy soil, you use sprinkler system. If you use drip irrigation, so drip irrigation in the sandy soil, the water can't retain. Okay, it just flows off. Fine. So
Ma'am,
sprinkler
what's the meaning
systems.
of retain?
Sorry,
1 minute, ma'am. Ma'am, what's the meaning of retain?
what is the meaning of?
Ma'am, retain.
Can you spell out?
Ma'am, retain.
Retain, RETAIN. Retain मतलब उसको रिटेन होने का मतलब होता है कि कोई चीज वहां पर बने रहना, बरकरार रहना किसी चीज का. अगर एक जगह पर पानी है और वहां पर पानी रुका हुआ है, दैट मीन्स द वाटर इज रिटेन्ड. इफ अगर वहां पे आपने पानी फेंका और वो कहीं फ्लोट कर गया, कहीं से निकल गया है, इट मीन्स द वाटर कांट बी रिटेन्ड. ठीक है.
Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, so sprinkler system is there. Why sprinkler system is used in sandy soil? Because it provides water in less amount, as well as the water is provided in a continuous form. In drip irrigation, the water is provided in drop by drop, so which makes the water not non-retainable in the sandy soil. Okay, so that's why sprinkler system is there. For 10th, you guys have done a good job. Okay, in the next section we will again have a test. Okay, but in the 2 or 3 sessions we have completed this unit first. Okay, next session we will discuss unit 2. Is it clear? So before leaving the session, just wait for a second. Let me show the executive. And yes, if you get any query or any doubt, you can ask me anytime during the session, be it from unit 1, be it from unit 2, which we have to start. Okay,